everybody. Welcome back to Creative Chat Cafe, the talk show hangout, which is actually broadcasted or put live on air on Wednesdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're brand new to the show, I am Zef Zan, your host for the show. So for the next 30 minutes or so, or if we're blabby, we might go to 35. So we just wanted to say hello to everybody. You know, we're looking forward to the next 30 minutes with you. I have a great cast with me here today. But before we go on introducing ourselves, just kind of showing you where you would actually find our hashtag. That's hashtag Creative Chat Cafe. You can go to Google search us, and you will find our previous episodes and where you can find our shows. And this is the website again, entrepreneursthatsoar.com. Watch it Wednesdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So today, I just want to welcome my co-host. You know, you've seen Bill DeRosa on our show before. Welcome back, Bill. It's always happy to see you on the show.
Thank you, Val. Always happy to see you everywhere.
And we have a brand new face on our show. Welcome, Jocelyn Murray. Jocelyn, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yay! So maybe, Bill, you can get started to kind of introduce yourself to our audience so that they'll have a fresh memory of who you are.
Sure, no problem. I'm Bill DeRosa. I'm the president and co-founder of Talking Finger, and we're a social media marketing agency, and we specialize in strategic implementation of social marketing integrated with other advertising and marketing. And we do everything from profile creation to optimization to providing content and pretty much everything there is. And you know, you can find us anywhere on the web. Just search Talking Finger, Google Talking Finger, or Bing or Yahoo, whatever you use, and you'll find our Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, everywhere else we live.
Thank you, Bill. Jocelyn, go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Murray, and my business is marketing and event resources, and I help small businesses with their marketing, public relations, and event promotion. So, you know, we work in all different kinds of spaces, everything from writing press releases to helping clients with their social media implementation, whatever it is to help a small business increase their visibility and generate.
Woo! Thank you. Seems like we have a cast full of just crazy marketers like us, you know. But this is going to be a great show. You know, I have a great cast here today. You know, we're going to be talking. We're going to be doing three things. I will, you know, typical breakdown is we'll have a great discussion, and the topic today is actually how silo marketing can be detrimental to your business. If you don't know what silo marketing is, we're going to get started in a minute, and we'll tell you what it is. The second part of the show, you know, of course, after our conversation, we'll give you some tips and advice and suggestions from our own experience. And third of all, we might have a little bit of inspirational resource for all of you guys out there who are thinking about or not wanting to do silo marketing. So let me get started, right? So we have a cast of marketers. I mean, they know, I know, but I think for some of you folks out there must be wondering what silo marketing is. But basically, marketing in itself is a vehicle for sharing information, right? So typical marketing channels that we are all used to are like, you know, media prints, websites, social media, even newspaper advertisements. But these days in the 21st century, there are more channels available to us. And, you know, we actually, as marketers, you know, or if you're doing marketing for your business, you have to come up with an integrated front for your marketing campaigns. Well, that's at least what I think. So, Bill, what do you think? You know, a lot of our folks out there must be wondering, what in the world is she talking about? Silo marketing. You know, it's like, what is that? Silo corns for corns, but what is silo marketing, you know? But maybe you can get started there, Bill, and, you know, tell us a little bit more about silo marketing, you know, and how it can actually be detrimental to our businesses.
Yeah, I mean, in regards to silo marketing, you know, it's a pretty simple concept, but it's a metaphor for businesses that don't synergize their various marketing initiatives and campaigns across all the viable outlets that they use. I know it's especially true with social media. It has been in the past. It's changing a little bit. Many businesses have been treating especially social media as its own standalone outlet. And it's a major factor in success or failure of a campaign or initiative for social and as a whole. But regardless of the medium, all marketing should be used to leverage the targeted audiences in a strategic and synergized way. And if you're not doing that, and everything's living in its own little buckets everywhere or its own silos, that's what basically silo marketing is.
And I often hear that you talk about this also, when I have, general conversations with you, but do you feel that more business to business and business to consumer marketers are spending more of their advertising dollars on digital initiatives than on print campaigns, shifting spending from offline to online?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's certain sectors that, print still works. I'm still a believer in print. I'm still a believer in all advertising, marketing in general, but it's defining your target audience. For example, I have a car wash I work with socially, but their mail campaigns still work. They send out the postcards in the mail because it's $5 off a wash or $10 off a wash here. Things like that, businesses that can give some kind of like coupons or things, you can still use mail. But in general, yeah, absolutely. Things are moving more and more towards digital. We all live with, I lost my iPhone, which is amazing. But can't believe I lost that thing. But, this is how everybody's living, is walking around with these devices. And basically, that's digital marketing. Anything that you're going to try and hit somebody mobilely or on a computer or anything like that.
Absolutely, and I think more and more these days, yes, there are more, online advertising done because, especially for the small businesses, because it's more cost effective. But I think versus, print marketing and even like radio marketing, but I think in a general way, many people are using more online marketing these days just because with the existence of social media marketing, it just makes it a lot cheaper.
And it's a lot easier to target. Absolutely, you're right on. You're right on. And it's a lot easier to target people, even in the last year and a half to 2 years. The targeting of who you need to reach digitally through the social channels. Facebook ads alone have just become incredibly vast of who you can target. You target 15 people in a town who like poodles and market a specific product to them. But that's how it is. And understanding how these different campaigns work on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all these other things, for very, very, very small amounts of money and very small budgets, you can get a good ROI if you do digital ads and that type of advertising and trying to reach people the right way.
And I think because also it gets out that faster and you can get the masses more in such a shorter period of time.
Right, yeah. The days of shotgun approaching are kind of gone if you want to have an ROI. Like I said, mail campaigns still work for some businesses, but shotgun approaches just don't work in this day and age. You really need to have a very defined targeted audience that you need to reach.
Very true, very true. Jocelyn, as a marketer yourself, what do you think are some of the risks and problems that are associated with silo marketing? Because it's easy to because I've seen some, small businesses even do it differently. Like, for one channel they use something different and another channel uses something different. But, what are the risks and problems that come up from this?
Yeah, Zef, like Bill said, I think that when you have a lack of coordination and you're not really integrating your business's marketing efforts, you can really weaken your brand, reduce the effectiveness of your messages, and your overall communication is, it's just disjointed. I see this a lot when small businesses hire multiple agencies, and I've seen this. Maybe the agencies have different specializations, but then they're working independently. And they don't have the business owner or the head of the marketing is not properly managing them, so the collaboration isn't there. And that's how you get silo marketing. It just results in a disjointed marketing effort. And I also see small businesses where they maybe have different teams. Maybe one team focuses on a specialized vertical. Sometimes maybe by product they have separate groups and they don't communicate, and it can really cause problems, and again the effectiveness and just the way you're communicating the brand, or maybe it's just a campaign that is just not gelling because it's just too many disjointed efforts. So I've seen that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to just jump in there. She's absolutely right, because the clients that we work with who have a PR agency and they have a web agency and they have a print agency, and they don't give us the information to reach those people. It doesn't work as well as when we're very adamant. We say, no, I need to talk to your PR agency. I need to talk to your web developer. We need to collaborate on this because we can't go in 6 different directions. All these agencies, and specialization is a great thing because people have become experts in their specific field. But if you don't use them the right way and have them talk to each other and understand where the brand is going, what the language for the brand is, that's where you get into the exact problems that she was just speaking about.
That's true, and that's a great point, Bill, and Jocelyn, because I think for brands, it is truly important for the brands to break up from just single channel marketing, because they have to connect with their consumers wherever they are, whenever those consumers want them to be at, and however they prefer. Because someone, like you said, Bill, someone might like, still like the coupons, the print marketing. Someone likes to be social on social media, and someone might just want to watch TV, So they kind of have to have all those channels integrated to one, under one campaign. It's just like the message has to be unified. So in moving forward, we have this brief discussion, and so our audience may probably have an idea what silo marketing is and how it affects our businesses. But Bill, let me ask you this. If somebody wants to get started and, just revamping their marketing campaigns, how can we, go about, improving our marketing efforts, just not do silo marketing? What do you suggest? Any tips for our audience out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really quite simple. It sounds like this big, huge thing that needs to be complex and everything else. But, it's the next time you do a print ad, for example, make sure that you update that print ad to show that you have a Facebook page or a YouTube channel by having an icon and the actual address. Just don't put just find us on Facebook, but put the Facebook icon / and then the address. If you have a Facebook or Instagram contest, be sure to put that in the next email blast or in the next print fly. Some of the stores I work with that actually have storefronts, they'll actually print out a flyer and put it right next to the register that we're having a contest on Facebook. Become a fan on Facebook to get a discount. If you're going to trade shows, make sure you set up events on your Facebook page and your Google Plus and everything else, making awareness that you're going to be at the show. Then at the show, take some videos of the show. Of the people talking, things like that. Then when you get back, you put it on YouTube channel, and then you leverage YouTube to put that link onto your Facebook. I mean, there's just so many ways that you can integrate all these different buckets and all these different advertising and marketing. And like I said, it's really quite simple. It's really just taking a step back, understanding all the different places that you are in the world with your advertising and marketing dollars and your time, and then figuring out ways to create a specific strategy to integrate all these different things so that, and like you said earlier, some people, and I'll even break it down further, some people like Twitter and they hate Facebook. Some people love Instagram and they hate Google Plus. But, understanding that you have to reach these different people on these different channels because your target audience might still be there. The integration is synergy. The synergy is key, and it all falls back to having some kind of specific written out, almost like a calendar form strategy of when we do this. These are the things that have to happen in place after it.
Do you feel, I know you do a lot of trade shows because, that's one of the things that you're big in. And let me ask you this, have you ever seen, trade show vendors making like a big flop in the way they do their cross-promotional content? Have you seen something like that?
A big flop?
Yeah, like they're not, the message isn't unified, because somewhere they're saying something and then they at the trade show they're saying something else,
Yeah, and they might be having an intern who works their Facebook page, for example, who's really not plugged into the system, and they'll have the wrong date. I actually saw a pretty major trade show in New York City. Their website had the dates on it, and then whoever set up the event on Facebook had the wrong days on there. Big gong show. You're off the stage, buddy. Whoever set that one up, sure. But those kind of it sounds like such a minor disconnect, but it's so major because if my main form of engagement with you or contact is because I'm a fan of your Facebook page and I'm relying on this information here to know when to go to the trade show, for example. I'm showing up on Thursday and the show's not I'm going to be pretty pissed to book the hotel room. So.
And you're absolutely right. And my tip, actually, I wanted to share with our audience, everybody today, is in following up to what you just said there. That is so true because, I think teams, especially, if your business or your company, outsources marketing and works with probably a bunch of people, different people doing different marketing, efforts, in the campaign. It's just, important to be strategic, and I think the company or the business or whoever the chief content officer needs to create the culture of collaboration.
Absolutely.
And just working from my own personal experience, because I have to be honest, I don't do all my marketing efforts. I do outsource them to some of our interns, but I am very I'm an army sergeant.
You're hands-on though, Zef. That's the difference.
Yeah, but I'm I have to make sure, and that's the point. I think you're right about that, Bill. As a chief content officer, you have to be in the game, stay on top of things. You might delegate to other people, but as the person in charge of, the marketing campaign, the content itself, you have to make sure, that everybody collaborates and reports, and make sure that every content is unified, and that is very important because I've experienced it with my team. Because if I see something different on the social media sites and all the other platforms, I'll be on my toes. I'm like, hey, you got that wrong. You're right. It's a great show. You're like, we're on Creative Check Cafe 12 p.m. Eastern Time. What time do you put it? Hello. We want to make sure that everything is unified. So that's one of the things. My tip for everybody out there today is, if one of the biggest thing is just you have to create collaboration, the culture of collaboration within your team. If you outsource it to a virtual assistant, make sure the virtual assistant has access to all the documents that you create your campaigns with, because I know sometimes working virtually can be a challenge, and if you don't manage everything, it's just gonna be, it's just gonna be a mess. What about you, Jocelyn? What's your tips for our audience out there today? Because I know, we marketers have all scary, gory stories sometimes.
Well, I see a lot of small business owners that, because they wear so many hats and they're not really probably used to managing say multiple marketing agencies, and I think that can sometimes be a problem for them if they don't have a chief marketing officer and the business owner is the one who's managing the marketing message, but isn't quite, he's got his business, he or she's got the business to run, and they're not always really adept at keeping tabs on the multiple marketing agencies. I've seen that be a problem where there is an integration, like we said before. And I think, like Bill said, you just need the agencies to communicate, you need departments to communicate, you need integration. You have to try to avoid any kind of variations in brand, the look, the feel, the messaging. Like Bill said, it's not difficult, but it does take, a real coordinated effort to make sure the left hand knows what the right hand's doing, and that everything is integrated, and that, people are taking advantage of, all the knowledge within the organization.
Yeah, there's an old saying, you can't clap with one hand. So.
That's true. Try that. Like that. It won't sound like that.
Can't make much noise.
No, exactly. And you're absolutely right, Jocelyn, about the integrated marketing part. So from your experience, is there any one favorite integrated marketing technique that you use with your clients to kind of help them out of the silo marketing? Is there something that you do typically?
Well, one of my biggest pet peeves is when people don't integrate social with email. That's one of the simple things.
Oh my God, you're right. Hello.
How many emails do you see where you see absolutely no social icons? You don't see any social sharing. So that's my biggest pet peeve. So I always make sure that clients know that we need to integrate the two. Include the icons, social icons, in all your emails. Make sure you have sharing opportunities in your email. Offer incentives in your email for people to come over to social and to find you on social. So it's a great way to extend your reach and grow your lists. and just increase your awareness to connect on all these multiple platforms. And I always encourage them to integrate social with email. So that's one thing.
I love that point. And to bring about the social and the email, and that's another point that I think I want to bring up in support to what you say, not only about social icons, sometimes the content is not the same with what they share on social media. And I think that's a big, that's a big missed opportunity. For instance, if you're creating a campaign that has email marketing and also social media, what you share in the email should, I think, complement what you put out there on social media. Do you agree with me, Jocelyn?
Yeah, of course. And again, that just comes down to, proper communication, and whoever's managing social, do they understand the campaign that's happening over here in email? And so absolutely.
So I'm talking about, working with teams that actually, work probably virtually. Do you actually work with virtual teams, Bill?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of the, things like Dropbox. We use Dropbox quite a bit just because it functions really well for collaboration, that way for file sharing and everything. Podio, which, we use, is fantastic because it links you to other places like Google Docs and things like that. So, there's a lot of, and they're free. For the basic small business, you don't have to do any kind of paid stuff with these things. It's a free service. Obviously, when you start getting to corporate level and things like that, you have to start paying for all these different services. But small business, there's so many different online and cloud-based programs and software and everything else that you use for collaboration. It's awesome.
That's a great point that you actually brought up that, I just thought about, my tip was all about creating a culture of collaboration. One of the biggest challenge working online, just from working with a virtual team like ours at Entrepreneurs at SOAR, what I have found is that I've talked to marketers differently. It's amazing to me. I think that some people or business owners, doesn't have to be marketers, business owners are not using probably a collaboration tool to work online. Right. This is where, you have, say for instance, we all three of us are working together, then Bill might be doing something else and Jocelyn's doing something else, and we're doing 200 emails just to get to one thing.
It's crazy. And
it's just...
Absolutely. And I have some clients like that who just won't step into the next stage, and it creates a challenge for the agency to go back and forth, and especially when, they forget to CC somebody here who needed to see it, and then all of a sudden it's not there. When there's a collaboration, the other thing about these cloud-based programs is you see who edits what. So if there's a mess up somewhere, I love blaming somebody.
We love that.
It wasn't me.
Jocelyn, do you actually use a collaboration tool?
Google Docs and Dropbox too. Those are probably the two biggest. But I think that, I'm just thinking that because we become such a virtual world, and people are not always working together next, cubicle to cubicle, sometimes that can really be a hindrance. And I think this whole silo frame of mind, or just the silo marketing, can come about by lack of communication and just us.
I was just going to say that.
I think it can happen. So if you're not aware of it and there's not really somebody who's overseeing and really taking charge and making sure there's such a collaboration and integration, it's easy to happen,
Absolutely. Talking about communication, that's a different whole story, because it can lead to a whole lot of different issues. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to share with our audience today. I found this cute little cartoon actually online, and I just thought of our topic today. So I saw this, right? So if you see this in the video, it says this virtual team manager says, "I'm looking for help on this virtual team," and then the function person says, "It's not in my P&L, and the country person says, "It's not in my objectives," and the product group says, "I'd like to help, but..." So this is what a typical silo marketing looks like. It just makes me laugh, because I'm saying, if you don't have a clue what your marketing looks like, and it looks like this, silo marketing, then it's about time for you to change your marketing efforts. So Bill, let me ask you this. What do you think of that cartoon? I mean, have you had similar experience with just clients? You know, we're not talking about our team, your clients.
Yeah.
Do you see that in your clients doing that a lot?
Yeah, absolutely. And not, I'll put it this way, it's definitely improved drastically in the last year and a half. I think companies are starting to realize that they have to have, you know, everything we've been discussing, where departments need to speak and agencies need to speak and everything else, because they look at their P&L statements and they go, how come we're not making money? Where's our ROI? And when they start backtracking, they understand that there's a lot of missing pieces that cause losses in profit because of time wasting and going back and having to redo things. But yeah, it does happen. You know, I'll point to the clients again who use emails as a collaboration tool. You know, it just takes one person left out of CC that needed to be there.
Exactly.
And something is missing, and then what do? You're wasting another 15, 20 minutes backtracking to, hey, now we got to wait for person X in that department to get us this because we can't go any further. Now you have other departments waiting on a department. So yeah, I mean, it still happens, and it's easily solved. That's what's amazing to me.
Very true. It's just a little bit of investment on your time, like anything else is a business. You know, take time to learn it. And just like Jocelyn was saying, it could be as basic as just using Google Docs. You know, that I love using Google Docs. Hey, you know, I just like, hello. And when people say, what's your tip? And I say, Google Docs, you know, and I'm like, they're like, what in the world is that? I'm like, oh my God. That's why when people want to share or collaborate something with me or brainstorm an idea, and I said, you know, please don't use email. They look at me like this. This is how they look at me. You know, it's pretty much like, why are you talking about no email? I'm like, because there's many other tools out there that we can use, you know. So that's you know, a great conversation there. It's tools, communication. That's all a different topic for a different day. We only have 30 minutes, folks. You know. So before we go, we're actually at the end of our show, but we just want to get this information for you guys out there. But in order to follow, you know, our shows and make comments and give us your suggestions, your ideas, and even your own experiences, you know, I'll show you where you can actually connect with us, follow our show, and, you know, we would like to hear from you. And, you know, my co-host will also tell you where you can connect with them. So I just want to show you here our website where you can actually follow our shows and read on our blogs. Go to entrepreneurs@soar.com, go under the Watch Hangouts tab on the Creative Chat Cafe, and you can actually catch up with all our previous shows, blog content, all here. All right. So you can also watch our shows on the Creative Chat Cafe playlist on our channel on YouTube. And best of all, we're inviting you to join our Google Plus Creative Chat Cafe community, where, you know, we'll have more post-show conversations. Hey, come on join I can't even talk. Join us in the community, introduce yourself, you know, and we would like to hear what you do. And, you know, hey, who knows? We'll get you on our next show. So why don't you go ahead and, you know, take, you know, a minute to just kind of tell everybody, our hosts, you know, where they can actually connect with you post-show.
Sure, no problem. I mean, really, we're on every social network that's popular, just because, you know, we feel we need to be there as the type of business we are, which I don't always recommend to other people. But realistically, like I said in the beginning of the show, just Google Talking Finger, 2 different words. You can add in social media if you want. And that way you can choose where you want to converse with us. Like I said, we're on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. We're all over the digital space. So if you search our name and look for us that way, absolutely, we engage everywhere. You know, probably our favorite still is Facebook, only because it's the easiest, and that's where all my friends are, so I can still chat with them while I'm talking to you. And Google Plus and stuff. But you know, but really anywhere you find us in the digital space, just search for us, and you'll find us.
I love the way you tell me where to find you too, because, you know, I wouldn't say hardly, but, you know, I tell people, just find me on social media. You'll find me more on social media than I'm on my website, you know, because, or in emails, because I just prefer the social media. Jocelyn,
please don't even go to our website, because my website is so outdated. For SEO purposes, I actually hide it now. I don't put it on anything.
But, you know, you're a social media person. You know, I do expect to find you on social media. I mean, this is where we talk about, you know, you kind of have to connect with your audience wherever they are, you know, whenever they want to, and, you know, which platform, you know, so that makes a whole lot of a difference. Jocelyn, why don't you take about a minute to kind of, you know, tell our audience how they can connect with you?
Well, you know, you can connect with me on my website. I did recently update my site, so I'm at the moment it's okay to go there.
That was quick for Jocelyn to say. By the way, you can go to my website. I just updated it.
If I wait too much longer, you know, I might be in the same position as Bill. So, you know, so my website is marketing-er.com, and there you can, you know, you can hook up with me via Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, obviously, you know, Google Plus, and obviously email. So, any of those avenues, great way to find me.
Yay! Thank you so much, everybody. You know, it's been a great show. There's a lot. I mean, we can definitely go on and on to kind of make suggestions to all of you guys out there thinking, you know, to pay attention to your marketing efforts because you really don't want to do the silo marketing deal. So before we go, I just want to actually say thank you again to my co-host, and also this is where you would go and watch the show. All right, entrepreneursatsoar.com. There's our hashtag Creative Chat Cafe. And before we go, I just want to say thank you for having such a great conversation with me. And I am looking forward to our next show, Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, thank you, folks. You know, thank you for joining us. Have a creative and productive week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.